really wanted to do with this evening. I wanted to actually have the different perspectives. Now we're here for this global freight conference. And why is the freight and the trading and the supply chains, why is it so important? Well, it's important because it happens to be about trading, exchange between people and organizations and ideas. So trading in itself is extremely important. And why am I here? I'm in blockchain because this is a tool for exchange. And not just talking technology where I come from, but also the ecosystem like we met with Bilal, also the think tanks and the people who actually drive and inspire. And Jürgen, I'm very, very happy that you're here to talk about that. So I'm going to ask you a few questions, but before I do, I want you to properly introduce yourself so the people around here understand what a rock star we actually have in the
Thanks so much, Eber, and I see you are the rock star. But when you invited me a few weeks ago, say we should have dinner, you told me a small cozy dinner with 3-4 people, and I didn't expect this wonderful crowd here tonight with all the high flyers. And I see Abdallah, you're sitting here running the Dubai post office, and you renamed it into 7X. Which is amazing, what's happening here. And I would say, before I introduce myself, just as a statement, Dubai is really where things are happening. It's a place for collaboration, joining hands, all different stakeholders, and you make it happen, especially when you come from Europe, where usually people say, oh, what are the risks behind our decisions? And there's a bit of this kind of, fin de siècle type of sentiment now. But here, it's just the opposite. You look into the future. And future is really the buzzword of what we are doing at Horasis. Horasis is a global visions community, and we try to solve all the issues we face in the world, ranging from the economy to technology to even geopolitics. And we try to draft scenarios, best case scenarios, hopefully, to solve all these problems via a multi-stakeholder approach. So what we do and what we're going to do in the next few days, we are hosting the Horasis Asia meeting. We have CEOs, entrepreneurs, government officials, mainly from Asia, so Southeast Asia, China, India, and other countries, of course, also Europe and North America. And we're here for 1.5 days of brainstorming on how to change the world to the better. Besides the Asia meeting, we are hosting also a global meeting, which is the whole world. This meeting just took place in Brazil 2.5 weeks ago, and 2 gentlemen, Claude and where's Murat? Murat, maybe just stand up for a second. Those are 2 examples of members of the Horasis community. And Claude, how many meetings have you been at Horasis so far? 40, 50?
I feel very old.
And it's a bit the idea. It's almost like a community. It's like a family. And now you're an adopted member. And at the core, and of course, all of you. And if you would like to join the Horasis Asia meeting, which starts tomorrow night, and then the whole Tuesday, approach either myself or Eber or Oscar. And thanks so much for making this happen here tonight. And would love to invite you to join us.
Thank you. So you can keep that. So I have a few questions. And
please.
We're waiting for the food, so this is not stopping the food. But I still want to ask you this, because now you're here. And your career is taking you across continents from, obviously, Europe to Asia and around here. And how does these diverse experiences shape your worldview? And how do they influence the way you approach the world, the global challenges today?
It's a very good question, because it's really at the core of what we are doing. We are not like a typical think tank, writing down ideas and sharing it to everybody, but we are more like a community of thinkers and doers, all having their own ideas. And we believe that 1 + 1 is not 2, but 11. And putting this knowledge together, creating new ideas, and so as I say, how is this knowledge? How are people impacting myself? I would say all the time, because the agenda, the program, which is in a way the backbone of what we do at Horasis, it's all a product of collaboration, of collaborative insights. So yeah, every day, I get new ideas from yourself, from our friends from all around the world, and it's a collaborative approach.
So what would you say are the biggest achievements or the steps that you have achieved as an organization in Horasis so far?
There have been many practical steps. So let's say like companies acquiring each other, maybe funding, floating to the next unicorn, collaboration all around. Even sometimes, you know, like stakeholders who usually don't speak to each other might meet at Horasis and maybe find more commonalities than differences. And I think that's a major achievement if you can put people on the stage and at the end they say, you know, we are friends, we are not fighting. And with this many, many times in the past. Actually, once here in the UAE, a couple of years ago, we got a minister from India and one from Pakistan. And people told me, Frank, it's impossible, you know, don't even try to do that. But it worked well. And both actually became friends.
So you're creating bonds over the borders, basically.
Bonds and potentially also friendship. And I think we use like an approach like from the bottom up. We try to influence societies and come up with you know, novel ideas which really help the world to flourish, overcoming difficulties, differences and divides. We want to build bridges to the future.
Wonderful. So now we're stepping into a week with a conference and a lot of meetings and speeches. And my ambition with this was also hoping that we could get a positive vision. Give us something so we can feel inspired for the week that's coming now and the work ahead. What is your vision?
So,
what can we do?
My vision is that I think maybe there are like 3 points. First of all, for all the Asian friends coming here, and we got, for example, the deputy CEO of Hyundai will be with us. We have Chinese CEOs, we have Indian CEOs. They all come here to discover Dubai as a new Asian hub where they can put their operations, maybe using Dubai also to approach Europe, Africa, and even maybe North America because of the centrality of Dubai. So I would say, and of course, technically, actually, Dubai is part of Asia. It's West Asia. But that would be one main thing. So really practically to say that how can Asian entrepreneurs use Dubai as a platform for further reaching out to the world and trade. Secondly, maybe on a bit higher level, to find ways to approach peace and understanding and togetherness. Because by being together, by having a dinner tonight as we are having, I think we find common grounds. And I think all these friendships coming up at the end of the day. And so you will see on Tuesday night, we have a closing dinner, and then maybe you can test the sentiment and feel that people really become friends and start to work together. And thirdly, we also would like to write the agenda for the future and to see, what are the next big things. So we will have a discussion on climate change, for example. We have also a session on climate tech. As we are just, many of you maybe come back from Baku in Azerbaijan, the COP meeting, and to see what does it mean for the business leaders. So we want to translate, all the big ideas coming from the politicians to your daily business and say, what does it mean for yourself? Technology is very much at the core. You will see there's a session on blockchain. You are on, Ebba, and there's a session on AI. In principle, myself, and you asked about my own ambition, but I think all of our members, we are very optimist. Even, if you look at the difficulties in this world, we have wars going on, 2 major wars, a lot of smaller wars as well. We have an economic crisis happening now in Europe. Countries like Germany, France, Italy, UK even are nosediving. So why should we be pessimists? I think we should look into the future, using technology and be always very collaborative. And I think we as human mankind, we got all the means to advance and to find solutions to all the challenges.
Thank you for those inspiring words. And I think also, before we sit down, I think we should talk about these things, and we should talk about how we can sort of inspire each other and what, connections and friendships we can make here tonight. So let's make that a promise. So thank you very much. And let's also say thank you to Oscar for helping us doing this. Absolutely. Thank you, of course.
Thank you.
And also to Bilal, who made us actually be able to be here. So let's have a nice dinner. I hope we make friendships and we get to talk over the different industry parts that we're in.